Hey, what's up, everyone? Long here, and so like if you haven't yet, please go check out my episode one review, and spoiler section if you're interested in episode one, which is Persuader. Uh, I actually did enjoy that episode, and Bill and then the follow on to in episode two is actually pretty done well. I actually liked that it picked up from uh, where we were last left off in episode one. I think this is I think this is one of those episodes where I just kind of enjoyed seeing this episode I enjoyed it, and then when I had time to like think back on how this is, it almost feels like it's a filler episode, and I mean like there is some stuff that happens in there, but I mean like it's just, but I think it was more or less to like fill a plot, and I think that just comes down to like how the novel itself was adapted. I think I'm not gonna that's just me personally. Uh, but I would have to like again, like I am not a I am going coming from the perspective of someone who has not read the novels, but I actually did enjoy this one, so I'm not gonna take too much away. But like otherwise, there really not much really does happen, and I think like if someone wanted to skip this episode, which I hope you don't, you probably won't be too terribly lost here, except for like one particularly cool scene, towards the end of the episode. So, yeah, so let's get started. Um, so, uh, so shortly after, the episode picks up where Reacher finishes investigating where Teresa possibly could have been, and Teresa was nowhere to be found. So basically, like the he can't. So so like so shortly after Reacher looks around, he's basically told to perform some jobs, and basically like proving his loyalty to Beck and his organization, so that he can continue to like look for Teresa, and then also look for his eventual quarry, which is Quinn, the guy he thought he had killed. So um, so basically, I think to me, like I think the jobs that he got sent down to do, it actually just feels like a lot like filler, but it also gives but what I did appreciate about this is that it does give a chance to like see like how the DA agents are, like kind of like fleshed out a little bit more in the process. So Duffy, Agent Duffy is clearly like invested in Teresa's retrieval, her CI, and then meanwhile we do get scenes where Elliot is left, like playing babysitter to the bodyguard Cooper, who they kidnapped, and then Billy. He's basically a tag along. I mean, like he provides some comic relief, but he also is basically that hard. He's basically the grounded, the one who grounds the agents and like brings them back to Earth when they stray too far. So basically the glue that holds them together, like reluctantly, of course. So without giving too much information, like not much really does happen. I mean, like so, one guy gets introduced into the episode, uh, and then his involvement ends in one episode. So, and that's all right. But like there the but however, what is kind of the saving grace of this episode is that they do bring back a character, and I think I already said it. Maria Neely actually shows up at the end of the episode and has a pretty good interaction with Reacher. So, um, so yeah, and I'll basically explain more on that. But let's just say that it's always great to see like Neely back in action. whenever, like whether it's just like having a nice quiet combo with Reacher, or like helping Reacher out, find facts and such. Um, Her presence is always welcome, no matter what. So yeah. Anyway, overall, I think like this episode, I was oscillating between a 7 and an 8. I think like eventually, like I think like without like Neely, I think this episode itself gets a 7, mainly because like there's really not much that goes on here, not even a fight. There aren't any fight scenes to really look at. I mean, there are some humorous moments, and I think they're just like kind of nice. There are some moments that do allow for some character growth, but ultimately it's basically a filler episode without Neely making her appearance. And so for that reason, I'm just going to end up like boiling this down to a 7. Um, I mean, like Reacher is great as always, but uh, the episode really does not get a lot of action here. So that's where I land with this. But anyway, also keeping in mind that also one thing I do want to keep in mind is that like the first 3 episodes were released together, so that probably contributed to the pacing of episode 2, and then episode 3, I believe, is the climax of the show because of how the episodes themselves were released. So anyway, that being said, I overall I think this is an okay episode, but it is a filler episode. So anyway, uh, yeah. But anyway, I just want to say thank you very much. Stick around with the spoilers for if you like. Otherwise, if you'd rather see the episode yourself, then I want to say thank you. If you like what you saw here, please do like the video, comment on what you enjoyed or what you didn't enjoy. And if you want to see more content like this, then please consider subscribing to my channel and hitting that notification bell. Thank you very much, everyone. Hang loose. Now comes the spoilers for Truckin', which is episode 2. So why the episode Truckin'? Why the name Truckin'? Because Reacher is asked to like travel across country to across in a truck to perform a job. Before that, he ends up meeting Angel Doll the same morning, the morning after. Well, basically by this time it's the morning now, when after Reacher has attempted to find Teresa, and he gets introduced to Angel Doll by Duke and is told to work with Angel Doll to investigate the vehicles that were involved in the attempted kidnapping. So Reacher reaches out to Susan to get the suspect car out of the impound lot before they get there. So he gets to know Angel Doll. So this is a guy who doesn't last very long. He is he's basically some rat who tries to make his way up the top, but for the time being he's an errand boy in Beck's organization, and their first job is to get a hold of the cars and then get them out of the impound lot. So but unfortunately, um, and unfortunately for Susan and Billy, uh, the two guys do end up reaching the impound lot before they're able to get the car out. So instead, Teresa, no, sorry, excuse me, Susan, aka Agent Duffy, she manages to mess around with the car enough, that is switching the plates, so that they won't to throw off suspicion of the car that the bodyguard had driven in before he was killed. So Angel Doll and Reacher go about the rest of their business, and then they head back to the compound where they are given their next assignment. So, Angel Doll takes off somewhere, but then Reacher is actually given a job by Duke to drive a truck down to another facility. And then before reaching his destination, meets up with Susan to search the truck for Teresa's whereabouts. Sadly, she is not there, and so Reacher delivers the truck, albeit sometime late, but he does end up finishing the job. So Reacher is then told that he has to go to Bazaar's facility, where he meets up with Angel Doll. Angel Doll basically, and this is where it gets a little stupid. I mean, like Angel Doll basically flexes on Reacher. He's a skinny guy, and he's flexing on Reacher because he believes he has found the smoking gun, and he brags it to Reacher, but not before sending a message to the Beck that he knows something that will impress him and gets him like very very interested. So before he can, and I find this to me is one of those tropes where like the clearly weaker one who believes he's smarter ends up getting owned by the guy that he tries to like blackmail. So it's pretty clear what happens. Reacher ends up killing him. It wasn't just about like how. It was just like it's going to happen. Reacher is going to off this guy, so that he won't reveal anything like pertinent about what's going on. So it's really boneheaded. I'm pretty sure I don't know. I mean, like, and again, I don't know much about like how Lee Child's characterized like Angel Doll's role, but personally, I mean, like it's if it translated well from like the novel to transferred well from the novel to the show, then essentially that's where the weakness was at, is probably with the writing. But if it's just simply that there was some editing that happened, I wouldn't know. At the end of the day, I'm just someone who enjoys the show, and I have some nitpicks here and there. So like, why would this guy like brag about it to him? It's like, you know what I'm doing? It's like he's trying to own this guy. I'm like, is he really that stupid? I guess he is, and we're not supposed to care that much about it. But anyway, yeah, that was essentially like I would chalk that up to like writing that probably they probably knew that there wasn't a way to like write this any other way to write this, and so it is what it is. Meanwhile, I did like the last interaction that to talk about is that Reacher actually learns enough information so that he can you can call like his friend Maria Neely, just call her Neely, and they they briefly like reconnect for a bit before he asks her to like look into the guys that work for Beck. So and honestly, like anytime Neely's in an episode, I will deem that episode to be kind of like pivotal. Neely is just as capable as Reacher, but she's just simply like doing her own thing, and I think that's pretty cool. So it's great to see like her back in action. So anyway, overall, I mean like given the context that this is episode 2 of a 3-part opening of season 3, I would say that this was the weakest of the 3, but I'll excuse it because it is what bridges 1 and 3. So although with episode 2 you probably could skip it, and then like you just simply reference that some rat named Angel Doll gets referenced a lot. So it's like, okay, yeah. But yeah, that's basically how I felt, and but maybe there are others who may not feel the same way as I do. All right, that's it for this episode. I just want to say thank you all so much for enjoying the spoilers or for watching the spoilers. But if you really did enjoy the spoilers and you liked the video overall, please do consider liking the video and comment on what you enjoyed or didn't enjoy. If you want to see more content like this, then hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell. Thank you so much, and hang loose.